While 100,000 young Americans flocked to San Francisco for the Summer of Love and 480,000 soldiers fought in Vietnam, radio stations were spinning 10 incredible songs that would disappear as quickly as they arrived. These tracks captured a year when America was torn between peace and war, love and rebellion. The Soul Survivors were a white R&B band from New York trying to make it in Philadelphia's soul scene. They spent months hanging around Cameo Parkway Records, practically living in the studio, until producer Kenny Gamble finally gave them a shot to record Expressway to Your Heart. Expressway to your heart. The band's lead singer, Richie Ngui, delivered vocals so authentic that most listeners assumed they were black. The group never matched this success, with members eventually becoming session musicians and music teachers around Philadelphia. Here's what radio stations didn't tell you. The Soul Survivors were banned from performing at several venues in the South when promoters discovered they were white. Some black radio DJs refused to play their records once they learned the truth, and while others defended the band, saying good music transcends race. The controversy actually helped to boost sales in northern markets. The 5 Americans were college students from Durant, Oklahoma, who got their break when they drove to Dallas and talked their way into a recording session. Lead singer Mike Rabin was studying to be a minister before music took over his life. The band's manager convinced them to adopt a more patriotic image during the Vietnam War era, hence the name changed from the Mutineers. After their brief fame, Rabin returned to religious work and now runs a Christian counseling center in Texas. Western Union's success created a bizarre legal battle.
Western Union man, bad news in it.
When Western Union Telegraph Company tried to sue the band for trademark infringement. The company claimed the song was damaging their corporate image by associating their service with teenage romance. The case was quietly settled out of court, but Western Union actually saw an increase in telegram sales among young people. Hey friends, if you're enjoying these stories, please hit that like button and subscribe for more forgotten music history. And share this with someone who remembers when music had real stories behind it. Scott McKenzie was actually John Phillips' close friend and former bandmate before the Mamas and the Papas hit it big. Phillips wrote San Francisco specifically for McKenzie as a promotional tool for the Monterey Pop Festival, San Francisco, basically creating the first corporate-sponsored hippie anthem. McKenzie struggled with heroin addiction throughout his brief fame and spent decades battling the drug. He passed away in 2012, having spent his later years teaching music to children and living quietly in Los Angeles. The city of San Francisco initially hated the song because it attracted thousands of unprepared young people to the Haight-Ashbury district, creating a massive homeless crisis. City officials blame McKenzie for the area's problems with drugs, crime, and overcrowding. The song became so associated with the hippie movement's darker side that McKenzie himself grew to resent it, calling it a monster that took over my life. Strawberry Alarm Clock formed when 2 rival Los Angeles garage bands merged after a fight at a local club. The psychedelic sound came from experimenting with their amplifiers and effects pedals in a converted garage studio. Lead vocalist Greg Munford was actually a session musician who happened to be available when they needed someone to sing the lead. The band continued recording into the 1970s, but never recaptured their moment. Most members now work in the music industry behind the scenes, with drummer Randy Seol becoming a successful record producer. Incense and Peppermints. The title, it came from the band's habit of burning incense during recording sessions to mask the smell of marijuana from their producer's father, who owned the studio. What fans don't know is that several band members were dealing drugs to support themselves between gigs. 2 members were arrested in 1968 for possession with intent to distribute, effectively ending the band's mainstream career before it really began. The Hombres were teenagers from Memphis who recorded Let It Out in just one take at the American Sound Studio.
Spout, but I don't care, let it all hang out.
The song emerged from a jam session when the band was killing time between takes for other artists. Lead singer B.B. Cunningham was only 16 years old when they recorded it, and his parents had to sign the record contract. The band broke up after graduating high school, with members pursuing normal careers. Cunningham became a successful businessman in Memphis real estate. The song was nearly banned by several radio stations because of its suggestive lyrics, which were considered too risque for teenage audiences. The controversy helped propel it up the charts, but the band was required to change some lyrics for television appearances. Parents groups in several cities organized boycotts of record stores that sold the single, claiming it promoted promiscuity among minors. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more stories about the music industry's hidden secrets. Like this video and share it with your friends who think they know everything about the 60s. Jay and the Techniques were an integrated band from Allentown, Pennsylvania, led by Jay Proctor, who was working in a steel mill when they got their record deal. The group's harmonies came from singing together during breaks at the factory. They recorded Apples, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie after winning a local talent contest. But internal tensions over money and creative control destroyed the band within 2 years. Proctor continued performing locally until his death in 2008, never achieving another national hit. The song's innocent-sounding lyrics actually contained coded references to drug use that went over most parents' heads. Apples, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie was slang for different types of pills popular with teenagers. Several band members were arrested for drug possession during their touring days, and the FBI kept a file on the group as part of their investigation into rock music's influence on youth culture. The Music Explosion were 5 guys from Mansfield, Ohio, who got their start playing American Legion halls and high school dances. Lead singer Jamie Lyons had been rejected by several major labels before a small regional company took a chance on them. The band's energetic live performances made them popular on the Ohio club circuit, but they couldn't translate that success beyond their regional following. After the band dissolved, Lyons worked various jobs, including insurance sales and restaurant management, before his death in 2019. Little Bit of Soul was written specifically to sound like a black soul record, with Lyons adopting an affected vocal style that fooled many listeners. When the band appeared on television, shocked viewers realized they were white teenagers from small-town Ohio. Some radio stations pulled the record, claiming they'd been deceived, while others defended the band's right to perform soul music regardless of their race. Brenton Wood was working as a substitute teacher in Compton, California, when he recorded "Gimme Little Sign Between Classes."
Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh.
Born Alfred Jesse Smith, he chose his stage name by combining 2 Los Angeles street names. Wood's smooth vocal style and sophisticated stage presence made him popular on the R&B circuit, but he never achieved another major crossover hit. He continued performing and recording for decades, becoming a staple of the oldie circuit and maintaining a loyal following until his death in 2021. Wood's career was nearly derailed when he was caught in a compromising position with a prominent politician's wife during a hotel party in Las Vegas. The scandal was hushed up by the record label, but Wood was quietly blacklisted from several major venues and television shows. He later claimed that powerful people in the entertainment industry systematically blocked his career advancement because he knew too much about the wrong people. Speaking of people, they formed at a San Jose State University when lead singer Larry Norman was studying English literature. The band's folk rock song, "I Love You," reflected the campus protest movement.
I love you.
And Norman was heavily involved in anti-war activism. After their brief success, Norman became a pioneer of Christian rock music, essentially creating the genre single-handedly. He spent decades as a controversial figure in both secular and religious music, often clashing with church leaders over his unconventional approach. Norman died in 2008, still performing and recording. The song was originally written as a love letter to God, not a romantic partner, but the record label insisted on keeping the religious meaning hidden to ensure radio play. Norman felt he had sold out his faith for commercial success and spent years trying to buy back the rights to re-record it explicitly with Christian lyrics. The controversy followed him throughout his career, with some calling him a sellout and others praising his evangelistic approach to rock music. Bobby Gentry was a Mississippi-born singer-songwriter who moved to Los Angeles to study music at UCLA. She wrote Ode to Billy Joe as a narrative experiment,
Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the tower,
creating a story song that deliberately left key details mysterious. The song's success made her a major star, but Gentry was uncomfortable with fame and retired from performing in the early 1980s. She completely disappeared from public life, refusing interviews and living in seclusion. Her current whereabouts remain unknown, making her one of music's most enigmatic figures. Gentry revealed in a rare 1976 interview that she knew exactly what Billy Joe McAllister threw off the Tallahatchie Bridge, but she would never tell anyone. She claimed the secret was too disturbing for public consumption and would destroy the song's mystique. Decades of speculation have suggested everything from a suicide note to evidence of a crime, but Gentry took the truth with her into obscurity. These songs remind us that great music often comes from unexpected places and ordinary people with extraordinary stories. The music industry has changed dramatically since 1967, but the power of a perfect 3-minute song remains timeless. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share these forgotten stories with fellow music lovers. What other one-hit wonders would you like to hear about? Let us know in the comments below.